Hello, and welcome to more nerdy rodent geekery. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make an animated synthwave style background, just like the one you're watching right now. Being able to make animated backgrounds like this is great fun, and they can also be used to spruce up any live stream or recorded video. I'm going to be using HitFilm, though I'm sure you can do similar stuff in any other video editor. Right, let's get into how to make one of these. So, I'm going to start with making a new composite shot, and I'm going to call this Sun Sphere. The reason for this is because I'm just going to make a new plane and add the sphere effect to it. The sphere effect, I'm going to change the radius a little bit, slightly bigger, and this is going to make our synthwave sun, so I'm going to position it closer to the top of the screen. Fantastic. Now, another composite shot, and this is going to be the actual sun itself, which includes the sun sphere. Apart from, I'm going to add some masks to make those little lines across it. Kind of random. So one there. I'll invert that. I'll add another mask there. And change that to subtract. And the same again there. Also subtract. And one at the bottom. Again, subtract. There we go, so that is a basic synthwave sun. Now, another composite shot, and this is going to be the actual scene itself. Now, first thing here is a plane, and this plane is going to be the grid. Obviously the grid effect I'm going to apply here instead. And there we go, we've got a basic grid. I'm actually going to make this plane really big. I'm going to make this 8192 by 8192. And then change the points here to 0, 0. And the position, let's do it 70 by 90 for 0.2. Okay, so that's got a basic grid. Oh, apart from it's synthwave, so let's make it a sort of, we want everything's going to be sort of a pinky purpley colour. So we'll go for that colour. And let's also add some glow onto this as well. Yeah, let's have a neon glow, because we're in the 80s, we're living in the 80s. That's the wrong colour. It needs to be the purple. Should we have a dark purpley? Oh, quite a light purple there, okay. An expansion, let's drop that to, let's say 6 and 3. Okay, that's got a neon glow, and let's add another glow at the end there. And we'll also drop the radius on that also down to about 6. Fantastic. Now, this is in completely the wrong place, so let's change that into a 3D plane, and yes, we would like that camera in there as well. I'm going to be using that in one moment. Now, I need to change the rotation, the X rotation on this to 90 degrees. And that camera it added for us, we're going to have to go up. Otherwise, we can't see the grid. Okay, so there's our grid. Now, we're going to keyframe the position of the Z there. See, as we move Z, so let's move the grid back and forward. So at the beginning of the video, I'm going to set the position to, let's go up to about 3380, and then at the end, yeah, that's about right. Let's turn that up. Okay, so that's got our grid travelling forward. And now we can add our sun into the scene as well. There's our sun. And the sun, we're going to do much the same thing. We're going to add some glows onto this. We're going to add 3 glows to the sun. That's glow 1, that's glow 2, that's glow 3. And we're just going to change the radius on these. So let's have this, quite a small one there. So we'll have a 30, we'll have a 70. And we'll make this quite a big one. Let's make that 150. Okay. And the sun is of course the wrong colour, so let's add a gradient to that. Whoops, if I can spell gradient properly. There we go. color gradient. Yep, let's have one of those. And I've got a preset here, sunset. It's close, but no banana. Let's drop this ramp scatter down to 0. And make this first one hideously bright yellow. And this one, yep, you've guessed it, sort of purpley colour. Now the start and the end points also need changing, so let's put this up to 525 up the top there, and we'll change that sort of the bottom of the sun there. There we go. Okay, so now we've got our glowing sun, we've got our glowing grid. Now we need a futuristic city, and here's a futuristic city. Oh, that's one city, let's import another one. Future city, there we go. Right, so let's put the future city in here, and that's good, but it's not quite the right size, so let's change this scale. We'll unlock the scale, and we'll make it not quite as high. There we go, that looks a bit better. Now let's move this so it's on the skyline a bit more. Right, okay, fantastic. Now let's play with the city a little bit. We're going to put a brightness and contrast effect on there and just drop the brightness a little bit. So I'll drop that down to -10. Now that's almost vanished, but that doesn't matter because I can add an outer glow to it. There we go. It's the wrong colour, of course. Everything needs to be sort of purpley. Let's make it a bit lighter. There you go. Very, very light purple. Now this is to taste, you know, if you want to increase the size of the glow, have it glowing a lot like that, or have it glowing a little bit, that's fine. I have mine at 15, so it's like an outline. I have a little tiny bit of spread there. Okay, we've got the basics, we're getting the basics. Now let's import some more things. Got the Milky Way here, another picture from Pixabay. Put the Milky Way in there. Okay, now that's not quite the right scale, so let's transform this, change the scale on this to 42, and let's move it up a bit so it doesn't show on our grid. Have it in line with the, there we go, our city nicely covers it there. So now we've got the sun, got some stars, got our grid going forward, it's almost complete. Let's add another grade layer in here. Thing there, so we can add in some scan lines. There we go, scan lines. Yeah, that's too heavy, so let's go light. Some light scan lines. Fantastic. And there you go, that is the basics of building up your little animated scene. So you can zoom forward in your grid and have it, you know, looping, put it in your video. Now if you want to do some other little effects, one thing I quite like is adding parallax to the grid layer, because that makes it look like that. Isn't that dark and sinister? It's dark and sinister. I quite like that. Or the other one is caustics. Adding caustics to the grid, but not quite as heavy as that. You change the refractive index to 1.1. and drop the depth to something like 10, then you get these sort of lumps instead. It's like a weird sort of futuristic keyboard almost. Weird. Anyway, that's it. There you go. It's one way to make your own synthwave style animated background ready to use for recording and videos. Enjoy, and I'll see you in another Nerdy Rodent video later.